I have made the ultimate Magnet Warrior deck list. Thanks to the new cards we're going to get next year in Burst Protocol, this classic archetype has never been this good before. And I am not exaggerating, just so you watch the rest of the video. They really are that good. In fact, when we get them in physical in the TCG, this is going to be my #1 deck in the Genesys format. So to see how to play them, to get ready for their eventual release, let's head over to Edo Pro and see what I've cooked up. Let's do this! Alright, here they are, Magnet Warriors, both new and old, working together to kick some ass in Genesys. Why specifically Genesys, you may ask? Well, there's a pretty big reason over here, and also another pretty big reason in the fact that I don't actually have a Genesys deck yet, so this is a perfect opportunity. As you can see, it is 50 cards. With Magnet Warriors, I cannot stress this enough, you do not want to take a 40-card Magnet Warrior deck. It sucks. These guys have so many garnets that you don't want to draw, so 50 is the ideal, because you'll never draw those one-offs, but you can obviously search them if you want them. And also, Magnet Warriors are geared towards generic rock support, especially the new fellas. And there are tons of super good generic rock engines. You're going to want to take as much engine as possible to get all that gas. So of course, more cards means more engine and more fuel for our glorious Lego King Block Dragon, who is the first card on this list. He is legal in Genesys format, and one of him is enough, because of course you can search him with Gallant Granite. And I mean, what is there to say that hasn't already been said? He's banned in TCG for a reason. He does keep coming back again and again and protecting all of your rock monsters. When your parents were like, oh, it's just Lego, it can rebuild itself, after your annoying relative destroyed your Lego Star Wars set you spent 2 months on, she's thinking of Block Dragon. He really does just effortlessly keep on reviving. I cannot stress this enough. You're playing rocks in Genesys, you need a Block Dragon. So yeah, this guy is 33 points. And yeah, that's a pretty hefty price, but it's worth it. Okay, enough glazing Block Dragon. Let's get on to the actual magnets. We have 2 copies of Sigma Plus and 3 copies of Sigma Minus. We've got 3 of Sigma Minus because he is the better Sigma by far. I mean, when you summon him, he sends a magnet to the graveyard, which is important for fusion materials, you'll see later. And speaking of fusion materials, if you have Sigma Minus in your hand, you can use him to fuse your guys. So yep, very epic stuff over here. And then Sigma Plus, we've got 2 of him because he's a pretty hefty body to have out on the field. And when he gets sent to the graveyard, you can either res one of your magnets from the graveyard or return it to the hand. So overall, the Sigmas do indeed live up to their name. Now on to Omega Plus. 3 Omega Plus, because he is an absolutely fantastic extender. It's worth noting though, this is the one bit of non-synergy in the deck, because to special summon him, you're going to have to destroy something, and of course Block Dragon says no to destructions. But let's be real here. If you have a freaking Block Dragon out on the field, you presumably don't have to worry about getting out one extender. Now we have Alpha, the Electromagnet Warrior. 3 copies, because just like Sigma Minus, Alpha can grab you your Magna Warriors, which you will need for a certain fusion. As you can see, Alpha is the only of the 3 original Electromagnets we're running. I don't like Beta and Gamma, they're too cloggy. Alpha just does everything they do but better. And also this is Genesys, so there's no link monsters. Having any random bodies on the field doesn't matter. Yep, by only running 1 level 3, we are saying bye to Gorgonic Guardian, but this deck has so much steam that we are not going to miss Gorgonic, even though it is a cool card. Next card we have 2 Delta the Magnet Warriors. I mean, Delta can send stuff to the graveyard. Sigma Plus and Omega Plus both do cool stuff in the graveyard. Pretty self-explanatory. Also, if you are desperate, Delta can cheat out Valkyrion, So it's just another backup boss monster. And last but definitely not least for the ordinary Magnet Warriors, we have one Epsilon, who is the cornerstone of a combo with Alpha I'll show you later. Neat little bit of send and revival, always good to have. And speaking of sending, next up is possibly the most crucial card in the deck. We have 3 copies of Linear Magnum Plus Minus. This card is beyond cracked. Like, this card alone is the reason why Magnet Warriors are worth playing in the Big 25. Or I guess Big 26, because that's when they're going to actually appear. But anyways, you get what I'm trying to say. This legend over here, it's a beat stick that can become an even bigger beat stick. And to summon it, for cost, it sends 2 magnets. Like, the amount of stuff that this one card does is nuts. And once again, this is a Rook deck. We can very easily search stuff with our Gallant Granite and our rank 4 engine over here. So yeah, most of your turns will just involve Magnum sending 2 and kickstarting a ginormous combo, which is even bigger than this speech I'm giving. Now on to the 3 Magna Warriors. These are the bricks I'm talking about. You don't want to draw these unless you've got the right cards to utilize them and do the combo. 1 Valkyrion, 1 Berserkion, and 1 Teluzrion. Teluzrion here, he's another boss monster of the deck, because he's actually a lot more easy to summon out than the others. And he can, recycle your Sigmas, and more importantly, destroy or take control of your opponent's monsters. So yeah, pretty good stuff here. And now 3 Deuterion. Misawa's cards do have an insane amount of overlap now, because Deuterion, when you discard him, he searches any bonding spell, and well, the most important spell, which we'll get onto later, is a bonding spell. So, Deuterion, the hidden goat of this deck, you know what I'm saying? And that is it for, the magnets, the Misawa stuff. Now onto the generic Rook stuff. And what would generic Rook support be without Adamancipators? 3 Adamancipator Researcher. This lady is the most important Adamancipator to ever exist. She special summons herself for basically nothing and will let you dig through your deck to excavate a Rook that will get you the victory. Or at the very least, a level 6 Synchro. What's not to love? And of course, she's not the only Adamancipator on the block. We also have Adamancipator Analyzer to give you a bit more going second power and also a bit more going first power, because even if you just normal summon him instead of special summoning him, that's still a level 4 tuner, which gives you access to both of this deck's summoning mechanisms. We got the XCs, rank 4s, and the Synchros. And he does also have like the digging effect of Adamancipators, so you'll be getting those right away. And now we have another Garnet, or to be more specific, a Crystal Dragite. We've got one of these just to help get Dragite online. And also because, level 4, good for the rank 4s and the level 8 Synchros. And he's pretty easy to get out with his other Adamancipator buddies. Now for another Rook engine, Korakimeru. We got 3 Supplier. Incredibly easy to special summon out, thanks to, of course, the Adamancipators. And this will grab you your Guardian, who will be, once again, super easy to keep on the field. Everything in this deck is a Rook. He is rock solid as he just stands there, waiting for the correct negate. And sometimes you will just use him for, like, Synchros and XCs, because no one's going to wait around that long, but you get what I'm trying to say. And, of course, 3 Carterin, the hidden gem of the seafront. It's water, so once again, it can make Raptite go... No, why am I like this? It can make Dragite go online. And also, 2 normal summons for a deck like this is cracked. So yep, this little rock creature is very much appreciated. And the final monster is this deck's only hand trap. The infamous Nibiru, the primal being. Usually I hate running hand traps in Genesys, because it's like, if all the important stuff costs points, why would you waste points on like a simple disruption when those points could be going towards your end board? But yeah, Nibiru is very much the exception because, like I said once again, this is a rock deck. We can just search the fucker. And it is very deadly because, like, your opponent's not going to be expecting it. Just summon, summon, summon. Psych! Nibiru, reset the field. And a lot of our stuff does summon from the graveyard. So getting back from the Nibiru drop will be a cinch. Those are the monsters. Onto the spells. Magnet Bonding. You know what? I take back what I said. Linear Magnum, here's the second best card. This card is the best card. It is actually nuts. Quick play, so you can do it on your opponent's turn 2. And what does it do? It searches Magnet Warriors. It searches Linear Magnums. It even searches Magna Warriors. But that's not the important thing. Well, it is the important thing, but the important thing is that it's a fusion spell. And it shuffles from hand, field, graveyard, and banished to get the fusions. That's right, you heard me. When you banish monsters to like summon your block dragon, you are really feeding your fusion pool. So yeah, all the Magnas you're using as fusion materials, banish those for block dragon, get one of these, which is searchable by the way because of Deuterion, and just fuse away. It's nuts. And then of course Magnet Warriors have received quite a few custom spells over the years. So we have this lovely Magnetic Field, which is even more Magnet Warrior Revival. Like, this is why Epsilon is at 1, because the deck has so much inbuilt revival that this guy's only really needed for the alpha combo. So yeah, 3 Magnetic Field and 3 Magnet Induction, which will special a magnet from your deck if you have a magnet on the field. Once again, even more rank 4s, even more value, yada yada yada. And wow, what would you expect? More revival power, 2 Adamantipator signs, which will special back any rock, not just Adamantipator. But of course the benefit is, if it is Adamantipator, you can then get your Dragite and put him on the top of the deck. So the Adamantipator you did summon can, you know, do some digging. And wow, there's a Dragite there, who could have guessed? Summon Dragite, draw a card, get the big Dragite. And yeah, you are on a roll. So that's the main deck. On to the extra deck. I've been mentioning Fusion Summons a lot and Magna Warriors a lot. What does it all lead to? It leads to this absolute unit. Imperion Magnum, the Superconductive Battlebot. 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense, plus an Omni Negate. And if he's taken out by a card effect, you get a Valkyrion and Berserkion from your hand or deck. Which, honestly, this guy does a bit of everything. And the best part is, Magnet Bonding will shuffle Valkyrion and Berserkion back into your deck. You are guaranteed to get your fallback boss monsters if this guy gets destroyed. But will he get destroyed? I don't know. You tell me. Will the 4,000 attack Omni Negate get destroyed when it's on the same field as a block dragon? Yeah, the defense on this deck is nuts. On to the new fusion monster, Conduction Knight Plasma Magnum. He only needs 2 Earth Rocks, aka 99.9% of the deck. And upon summon, he will start you your Magnet Bonding. But that's not all. He'll make everything on the field Earth, which can definitely screw up some decks. And also, sends for cost a Magna Warrior to the graveyard to get you an extra normal summon. So yeah, basically, once you've comboed off and got this guy, you can combo off again and again. Just keep it going, never give your opponent a turn. On to the Synchros. Of course, we are playing Adamantibators, so we got our Dragite. 20 points here, but boy, it's worth it to negate all those pesky spells and traps, and also give us a beat stick that can also dig for more rocks. This rock dragon, it does everything. Raptite, for when you've got your researcher plus one of your gazillion level 4s. Once again, it's an Adamantipator. It digs for rocks. Like, that's all I can really say. More and more rocks join the party. Now we've got the Navy Dragon Mech. Another water to help fire up the Dragite. And why do we run this one? Because both Linear Magnum and Plasma Magnum are level 7s. And we have this level 2 tuner over here, so I thought it would be good to have one generic level 9 synchro that just needs one tuner plus one non-tuner monster. And the Navy Dragon mech is actually pretty solid, because he does negate cards on the field, can be really useful for like one last push or destroying an otherwise undestroyable end board. It's always good to have this guy around. And now, onto our level 8s, which we get out with our analyzer. Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, my personal choice for best level 8 in the game. He is just so damn cracked. Lots of attacks, banishing monsters you disagree with. It's everything. But honestly, most of the time, you will be going for your Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon. And why is that? Well, because he can revive your Researcher and then immediately go into Supreme Sword Soul Sovereign Chen Ying, my goat from the Albaz lore, who also banishes more cards on the field if you do banishing. And we are doing a ton of banishing with this block dragon. So yeah, Chen Ying is here to make your opponents cry as all their monsters get removed from play. And last but not least, the final synchro is the Coral Dragon, who can pop cards on the field, and is also a level 6 tuner, so Coral Dragon plus any one of your level 4s is a Chen Ying. It's nuts. Oh yeah, also, as you can see, the Axel is a wind, so you will get your Raptite online thanks to that. And now on to the XCs. Wow, who could have seen this coming? 1 Gallant Granite in a rock deck? No way! Next up we have Evil Swarm Exiton Knight. One of the best characters in the Dual Terminal lore, and also one of the best rank 4 XCs. Breaks boards like nothing else. Light Dragon Atignista. I know we already have a dragon who protects your fellas, but 2 dragons who protect your fellas never hurts anybody. Especially because he's also, once again, more monster destruction. You can never have enough of that. Especially in like a power limited format like Genesys. But monsters aren't the only things that need destroying, which is why we have Tornado Dragon for all them pesky spells and traps. And also another friend for Raptite. Now, as I said, level 7, rank 7, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. A tough cookie who is also taxing your opponents every time they do an action. I mean, giving your opponents less stuff to do while you've got all of this stuff to do, that is just a recipe for victory. Onto the side deck. 1 Daigusto Emerald, another awesome character from Dual Terminal, but also a good way to recycle your rocks in the graveyard. He's side deck and not main deck for one reason, and that reason is space. But also, like, a lot of the time, you do want your rocks in the graveyard. Like, there's so much ways to get them back from the graveyard, that there's so many cards that rely on your rocks being in the graveyard. Like, he's only really here if you're against an opponent who pushes you into those, like, incredibly long grind games and you start running out of gas. Or if, like, a card here isn't really too applicable. Like, if your opponent's not playing a spell and trap based deck, Tornado Dragon's a pretty dead card, so just swap him out for Emerald for a bit more flexibility. And once again, Wind, Raptite. Now, 3 copies of Liberator Eto. Honestly, I don't care if there's better options out there. I am paying half of my life points to summon this incredible looking lizard. If your opponent's playing one of those like Omni Negate decks, maybe got some hand traps despite the format, you can absolutely punish them by just dropping this bombshell of a monster and cracking their entire field. And speaking of doing that, 3 Gamichiel the Sea Turtle Kaiju for when you're going second, or for when your opponent's playing a bunch of Towers monsters. 2 Lancia, just in case your opponent likes to banish. Banishing is your thing, and there can only be one banisher. Punish them with this Lancia. And of course, 3 Dark Ruler No More. No matter what the format, TCG, Genesis, whatever, you need to be running 2 or 3 of these in your side deck. It is that good, and if you don't, there will be that one deck that absolutely curb stomps you because of it. And also 3 Cosmic Cyclone, because, well, like I said, some decks have annoying spells and traps. This helps to mitigate that. And yep, you do have a Tornado Dragon, but more removal never hurts anybody. Like, you could just remove their spells and then use your level 4s to make Gallant's Granite and do your combo. And speaking of combos, let me show you a few basic ones to get your Magnet Warrior adventure started. Okay, so for this one, my favorite combo in the deck, all we'll need is one Alpha and one Magnet Bonding, both of which are searchable, so this could be a pretty easy hand to get. Alright, we're going to kick things off by normal summoning Alpha, and then using Alpha's effect to add any one of the 2 OG Magnet Warriors to our hand. Let's go with Valkyrion, but like I said, it really doesn't matter. We're going to set our Magnet Bonding and end our turn, and on the opponent's turn is when the magic happens. Because then you're going to use Alpha's effect, Tribute, to special summon our 1 copy of Epsilon. And now Epsilon is going to dump a magnet. And if we had more magnets in the graveyard, I would send Sigma Plus to trigger Sigma Plus and either resurrect a magnet or get a magnet back to the hand. But since there's nothing, we are going to be sending Omega Plus, since he can summon back from the graveyard himself. But the send isn't what's important. What's important is the other part of this effect, which will be resurrecting Alpha. And since this is a new turn, Alpha's effect can reactivate again, and we're going to grab the other OG Magna. But is this the end of the combo? No! We have a quick play spell card set! And with this quick play spell card, we're going to choose the fusion effect, and we shall fuse Imperial Magnum, the superconductive battlebot, this deck's ultimate boss monster. There we go! Omni Negate on the opponent's turn. And our next combo is a 1-card combo focused around the sheer power of Linear Magnum plus minus. But this 1-card combo becomes even more menacing if you have a level 4 in your hand to spare. Literally any level 4, which is why I specifically picked out Koaki Meru Supplier. The level 4 that you don't want to normal summon, because then it does nothing. So let's start things off. We're going to send for cost with Magnum's effect, both the Sigmas, summon Magnum, Sigma Plus will trigger, and now we have a choice. If we choose to add minus back to our hand, we can fuse, and if we special summon, we can send a Magna. I'll special summon, and then I'm going to send Teluzvion, and now Teluzvion is live. As you can see, we can now special summon this absolute Giga Chad holding a hammer. But let's save that for later, because now we're going to normal summon our supplier, get out Gallant Granite. Yep, rogue decks really only have one trick, but do I care? No, it's awesome. We need to attach Sigma to add a rock monster, and the rock monster I'm picking is another Sigma. Everything is set now. We'll use Sigma's other effect to fuse, get out Plasma Magnum with Gallant Granite and Sigma minus, trigger effect to get a Magnet Bonding, and now with everything in the graveyard, you can get out your Teluzvion. Since Plasma Magnum turns everything off, this does mean that Teluzvion can do the upgraded effect, not just destroy an opponent's monster, but take control of an opponent's monster when they use an effect. So we do have the space here for Teluzvion to steal a few things. And we also now have a Magnet Bonding thanks to this guy's search. So I guess this, you can just do whatever you want with this. Like, get some magnets, some magnums, some magnas, anything with mag in the name, just grab it. I'll just set this one for later. And there we go. The new magnets are awesome. And I hope this video inspired you to check them out. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!